Fighting games. They're infamous for being some of the hardest games for casual players to get into, with wild combos, mechanics that feel like rocket science, and communities full of people who've been grinding for decades. So, what happens when I, a complete beginner, try to jump in and make sense of the chaos that is the fighting game genre? Now, I'd call myself a competitive person. I love putting in hours to master whatever I'm doing, so I thought, hey, fighting game sounds like the perfect challenge for me. And yeah, I was not ready for what these next 7 days would throw at me. First, I had to pick a game. After some digging around, I landed on Guilty Gear Strive. But wait, why not Street Fighter or Tekken? I mean, simple, look at this roster. Every character looks like an anime main character, and the soundtrack, it makes every round feel like a boss fight. Now that I had picked my game, the next question was, who do I main? And this is the fighting game equivalent of picking a star Pokemon, except your Pokemon also comes with a 30-page move list and an existential crisis. I initially picked Ram Lethal Valentine, but that didn't really work out too well for me, and more on that later in the video. But for now, let's just get right into day one. Day one was all about learning the basics, figuring out how my character works, wrapping my head around the mechanics, and learning a few basics before I even dared to step into the online Shark Tank. I started with going through all the in-game training missions, and they were a good introduction to the fundamental mechanics of the game, and they helped me figure things out quite easily. They ranged in difficulty from easy to quite difficult, and I did struggle at parts, but I didn't give up and I just kept grinding. After completing the training missions, I decided to hop into combo trials with my character, and they were quite difficult. I struggled quite a bit. It wasn't easy getting the combos down, but I just kept grinding, and I figured a few combos out, but I'm not very good at executing them. As it was getting quite late at night on day one, I decided to cut my session off short. But then I made a stupid mistake. I decided to jump into ranked play, and this was off camera, but it's safe to say it didn't go well. I got absolutely destroyed and started right at iron. After day one, I knew I had a lot to learn and set myself a few clear goals. I wanted to try and master a few basic combos for my main character, and also to reach silver or gold by the end of the 7 days. And I know that it's not too difficult to reach silver or gold, it's not really a high rank, but this would be a big achievement for me, starting from iron and not knowing a single thing about this game. After day one, I was excited and motivated to get on with day two. I spent most of day two watching beginner guides on YouTube, and I pretty much watched every guide out there that I could find, and these videos helped me massively in getting my head around the game's fundamentals and mechanics. I learned about neutral, offense and defense, and how the core of Guilty Gear Strive could be thought of like a fast-paced chess match, where your opponent makes a move and you have to figure out the best response, all whilst minimizing your negatives and maximizing your positive gains. As I had mentioned earlier, on day one I started with Ram Lethal Valentine as my main, but her playstyle just wasn't clicking with me, so I experimented with a few different characters and eventually landed on Mei. Mei's playstyle is very in your face, it's just constant rush down pressure, and this kinda suits my playstyle pretty well. I watched a few guides on her, jumped into combo trials, practiced a bit, and then headed straight into ranked. Now playing ranked, I wasn't exactly pulling off all the combos that I'd practiced, or applying the concepts I had learned in the videos that I watched, but I managed to hold my own ground, and eventually got placed in bronze. I spent most of this day just alternating between practicing combos and grinding ranked, and called it a night. Despite all the progress I felt like I was making, something still wasn't quite clicking for me, until I came across a guide by Toko. Now the information he was giving wasn't too different from any of the other guides I had watched, but the way he explained things just clicked with how I learn, and suddenly the concepts that had been floating over my head started making sense now. On day 3 I decided to try out Soul Bad Guy, and while I wasn't exactly a threat in the matches I played, the cogs in my brain were finally turning. I started to actually make sense of what was happening in the matches I was playing, how to read my opponent and how to respond, even if my hands weren't quite able to keep up with my brain yet. I spent the entire day just hopping between characters, trying out different characters, seeing what worked for me, but nothing felt quite right. Until I tried. Lethal Valentine was sent to me as a gift by someone, and the moment I picked her up, I knew she was the character that I had to main for the rest of my Guilty Gear Strive days. Her moveset just felt natural to me, and it definitely didn't hurt that she basically comes with built-in auto combos. I spent the entire day playing as her, and the more I played, the more the game started to make sense to me, All those guides that I had watched were finally connecting with what I was doing in game. My attacking capabilities definitely started to improve, even though my defense still needed quite a lot of work. Day 3 felt like a major milestone for me. I wasn't just button mashing anymore, and the concepts were actually starting to stick. Unfortunately, I don't have much footage of Day 4 because I was feeling pretty ill and I wasn't really feeling like playing the game too much, but I still hopped into practice a bit of combos, played a few ranked matches and managed to climb to Bronze 2, which honestly felt amazing. It was the first time I climbed up a division, and for the most part this was just a rest day filled with random YouTube rabbit holes. By Day 5 I had started to really get a feel for my character, and I wanted to use this day as a training day, so I forced myself to resist the urge of spamming ranked. Instead I focused almost entirely on training and practice, just refining my combos and experimenting with setups that worked for me. And I felt like that effort really paid off. Day 5 ended up being my best ranked run yet, and the climb to silver had officially begun. I had finally done it. I reached silver, the goal that I had set out from the beginning. I climbed from Iron 1 with zero clue on what I was doing in this game to understanding defense, neutral and how to adapt to my opponents, and actually climbing. Hitting silver might not mean much to the wider community, but for me, it felt incredible. I was on a high and I was motivated to continue with Day 6 and 7. By Days 6 and 7, I was able to comfortably hold my own in the silver ranks, and although I didn't progress much, I pretty much just stayed silver 1. I was having fun with the game, finally utilising the combos I had practiced and applying the concepts I learnt on days prior. I didn't play much on these days as I was mainly just resting and playing other games with friends, but the times that I did get to play Guilty Gear, I was having a blast and finally understanding how the game works on a beginner level. I set out on this challenge not expecting much, but instead I found a love for the fighting game genre. I don't know if I'm going to continue playing Guilty Gear as my main game, as I'm going to be trying out other fighting games out there like Street Fighter and Tekken. I also got an invite to the 2XKO closed beta, which is also coming out on early access soon, and I've been playing that quite a bit alongside this challenge. Marvel Tokon is also coming out sometime next year, so there's a lot to look forward to and a lot of different games to try out and find which one I want to stick with. I started this journey with no clue how fighting games work, to building a base level understanding. So for anyone out there who thinks fighting games are difficult, I urge you to try it out. Set yourself a challenge and you'll have an absolute blast learning the genre, and the community is filled with people who are welcoming and want to help you on your journey. I'm definitely going to be continuing with fighting games, and I look forward to developing and refining my skills further. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed my journey, and I'm going to be making more content like this, setting myself challenges, learning different games, and making more fighting game content. Thank you for watching.